Back again talking about shorts and shorts permissions, and we know that one of the remaining questions we have after the first 3 videos where we covered this, where we got more information over time, including from YouTube thankfully, is the area of copyright and rights to use other people's content. And in particular, we're talking about audio sampling, and we're talking about the music in the Shorts app and so forth. So we've got a number of questions we need to address. We've got a few answers. There may still be questions about copyright after this, but I want to start with this. The first thing you need to know is that Shorts is like any other piece of content that you post on the internet, whether it's a video on YouTube or Facebook or whatever, whether it's a live stream, whether it's short form content on TikTok, whether it's photos, whether it's music, whether it's a video, whatever the type of content it is, everything is subject to copyright law. There's no exemptions to copyright law. You either have permission to use something or you don't. And the same thing applies to shorts. Now, when it comes to shorts, it's interesting that whatever you post on shorts, you're responsible for knowing that you have the rights to use that piece of content if it's something that you haven't made yourself. Obviously, if you made it yourself, it's your copyright. You own it. When it comes to posting something on shorts, there's opportunities there to grab different elements, particularly audio-wise, that's going to affect what you do from a copyright perspective. The first thing we want to look at is in the Shorts camera itself is that audio library or music library that they've got. There's a bunch of music in there that is basically provided for use for you in Shorts. A lot of it is contemporary music. There's stuff you can search and come up with. Go have a look. If you've got the Shorts camera, have a scroll through. You might see some on this B-roll here where we're scrolling through, and you can see there's a whole bunch of different songs that you can sample musical portions from, particularly 15 seconds from each song. Now, the reason you can do this is because YouTube's gone out and gotten rights and permissions for the song's use in Shorts. So as long as you're using your Shorts through the Shorts camera, sampling only that 15-second portion and using it in your short video, then you're covered. What that means is, though, you can't go ahead and try and use that music from the Shorts library on long-form content on YouTube, and you can't use it, obviously, in other apps where that license doesn't apply. So it doesn't apply on Instagram, doesn't apply on TikTok, or wherever else you might be trying to use that music. Keep the use to the YouTube Shorts music library to Shorts. Now, the second area where we can sample audio in particular for Shorts is from other people's long form content. And this is rolling out soon. It hasn't rolled out yet. The ability isn't there, but you'll see the little waveform button will be under long form content that is eligible. And what we mean by eligible, we're not meaning from a copyright sense, we're meaning from hey, the person who made this video is giving permission for you to sample the video. Now, what could they be sampling from the video? They could be sampling something that you said or something that is interesting audio-wise. But it does beckon a few questions when we come to this part. Consider this, me as a person who's put out long-form content in the background of most of my more recent videos in the last couple of years, I've got tracks from Epidemic Sound. Now, you might use a service like Epidemic Sound, it might be Artlist or Soundstripe or somebody out there, or you might even be using music from the YouTube music library. What happens is if somebody samples my video and gets a portion of that Epidemic soundtrack onto their short, and what happens if they don't have an Epidemic Sound license to use that? Well, that question was asked of Team YouTube, and this is the response. This is the question, first of all. A good friend of mine, Daniel Batal, asked Team YouTube, in the new Shorts permissions feature, if we capture an audio sample from an enabled video on another channel, the audio includes music licensed by that creator but not us, are we opening ourselves up to a copyright claim? Okay, that's a very good question, and we're going to go into that a little bit deeper in a second, but let's see what Team YouTube's response is. Thanks for sending this our way. If the shorts you've uploaded captured any copyright protected material that you don't have approved right to use, could lead to you getting a content ID claim. Also, if the copyright owner sends us a valid and complete copyright takedown notice the MCA against your short video, it might be removed and you could get a copyright strike. I hope this helps to clarify. So in other words is, like what we said at the beginning of the video, copyright rules apply to shorts just the same as they apply to long form content and content on other platforms. So you, as somebody who's creating a short, be mindful of what you're sampling from other people's videos. Even though that creator that you're sampling from has left the box checked, you might be sampling part of their voice, which would be fine because they've given permission. But they can't give permission on behalf of Epidemic Sound or Artlist or Soundstripe or whatever other source it is to use that track. So something to be aware of. Is there any other copyright implications that you can see around this? Let me know in the comments, of course. Copyright's always a minefield, and I don't think that we've got all the answers, and I don't think we're going to have all the answers for quite a while until we see things crop up in the use of people's audio samples as this feature goes live. And because it's not live yet, where it's all speculation. What is my advice? Is just be careful what you sample. If you're going to make a short video or a shorts based on somebody else's video, just have a listen and say, is there a track there that could get me in trouble? Is this something that I'm sampling that is not really gonna do well for my channel because I'm gonna get a claim or a strike? As a side note, I don't know whether people are actually gonna get claims being on the short shelf unless along the line there's some monetization involved where there's revenue to actually claim. But right now, shorts videos are not monetizable on the short shelf. The other thing to remember is shorts videos are appearing on your channel as a proper video as well, and they are generating revenue, so there is still a possibility for a claim rather than a strike. But how do you know? You just don't know unless you do your due diligence. So my advice is be careful. Consider copyright at every angle and make sure you don't do anything to get yourself claimed or at worst a strike, because you don't want that hanging over your channel. Anything else you have questions about YouTube shorts permissions, audio sampling, let me know, because I'm sure there's going to be more questions coming up soon. But in the meantime, this is Doug, and I'll catch you later.
Subscribe to Doug Hewson YT for more tech or content creation.